Thank you for watching Healthy Power TV with Dr. Josefina, and I'm Laura Guttridge. Today's topic, we're talking about change and how change is good at any age.
Yes.
And I was thinking about change, and we always are going through change. And when we're younger, change is so constant in our lives, especially when we're younger, I think.
Yes.
Every day is just so different. And we just accept it when we're younger because that's such a big part of our life. But as we age, change becomes more and more difficult for us to accept, and I think it's because as we age, we become very set in our ways, and then we are fighting against the change. So I have my own little saying. I look at change as the tragedy that leads to the cure, because at first it seems like, oh my God, it is such a tragedy, this change, but at the end it usually is beneficial.
Yeah, you are in the right show.
The tragedy of change.
That's her way, not my way.
Yeah. Yes.
My way is the success of change.
Yes.
So why did you see it as tragic? I'm curious now.
Well, sometimes change does seem very tragic because, like I said, when we are set in our ways and routine.
Okay, let's talk about set in your ways. So, what benefit will it bring to anybody be set on their ways? Don't you think that's aging faster?
I think it does make time go by faster for you when you every day you have the same routine. But then sometimes, routine, I think, can be good because
it is great.
It seems like when the routine is like thrown off kilter, that's when mistakes can be made. So we need to learn to adapt because nothing is always going to stay, on the same track 24/7.
Okay, so what change are you talking about? You're talking about like a personal change,
well,
like aging, like all that, or you're talking about events, like something happens in your life and you have to adjust?
I'll think of an example. Say like a divorce. So that could be a terrible thing for a lot.
Or it can be a great thing.
Right, or it could be, the bad.
It depends.
Yes. So we just have to, learn to, like you said, think positively and take, the time to realize the opportunity and the change that is lying ahead of us.
Yes.
At the moment, it seems tragic and terrible, but
that's why you have to watch Dr. Josefina's way, because we help you to make it.
Yes, and you actually have steps.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, the first one, begin with small steps to being in the right direction of making positive change.
Yes.
So are you referring to that when you are instigating your own change? Because sometimes the change just happens and it's out of our hands, like say the death of a loved one or whatever. But when we're trying to make changes to better our lives, is that what you're referring to?
That's what I'm focusing always in the personal change, because the only thing I can control and the only thing I can change is my own thinking. That's all, my mind.
Right.
So I cannot control Laura. I cannot control my clients. I cannot. So it's all that I talk about is a personal thing. The changes that are good for you, that will benefit you, that will enhance your life, that will bring you better success, better result. You feel like every single day you accomplishing greater things. Not because you are achieving like material things, but you as a person, you feel that you're growing, you're becoming, you're changing. You're better today than you were yesterday. And you know in your heart that tomorrow you will be better than today.
Okay.
It's that change that I'm talking about.
And it also could be, correct me if I'm wrong, like if you're in a job that you don't like you feel like you're in a rut and it's time to get out of the job, get a new job, fresh start.
Yes. Yes, because if you are miserable, spending 8 or 10 hours doing something that you hate, there's something wrong with that picture.
Right.
Because I believe, Laura, that you were not born to suffer. You were not born to be miserable.
Right.
You were born with talents, skills, ability, mission, purpose, power. What happens is we get lazy and we don't want to make the change.
Right.
And of course, to make the change, you have to put energy into it.
Oh, yes.
You have to have discipline. That's when you're talking about the routine.
And it's also a risk you're taking.
Definitely.
And we're all afraid of risk.
Exactly. But the greatest risk the greatest magic show that you can watch is your own personal transformation.
Yes, yes.
There's nothing like that.
Nothing risked, nothing gained.
Absolutely.
So that kind of goes in with, accepting the change. The change is a reality.
Yes.
So nothing ever stays the same. That's not possible. Everything, the world is changing, we're changing, and you're right, we have to just accept it. There are there are changes in our future that we're anticipating now that you think, oh gosh, you're dreading it. But we have to just accept it as a reality.
Well, and if you take the time to look back into your own life, every time that a big thing happened, a big change happened, always it was for your own good. It was always for your own benefit. You always came out okay. So, yes, it's scary, because then what I have to do is I have to reinvent myself.
Right.
I have to recreate myself. I have to come up with new ideas and oh my God, what am I going to do now? But another thing with the change is that when I talk in the lesson, it's about having that spiritual life.
Right.
Because if you don't have something bigger and greater than self to hold you up, then you're really going to be afraid of change.
Oh yes, and I think the meditation and self-reflection that comes along with spirituality does assist us.
Yeah, because if it doesn't do anything, you don't want to believe in anything, it will do you just good to look back into your own life and see how great you did.
Right.
So just that's phenomenal, because it gives you the confidence to move on, to continue, to have faith, to trust, to do what you want to do with your life. Go ahead.
Well, I think my belief in karma actually helps me to be a better person even when nobody is watching.
Absolutely.
Because in my belief system, I think that the karma is being seen no matter what.
Exactly.
It's being registered.
It's energy.
Yes.
It's in one of the shows we're going to be talking about toxic energy and positive energy.
Yes.
And that's exactly right, because doing the wrong things and having the wrong thought, and that creates that energy, and it creates and the good stuff, bad karma.
Yes.
But you want positive, good karma.
Yes, exactly.
Good karma.
I love good karma. So that was, the third thing.
Yes.
Ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario?
Yes.
So it's always good to know, how bad can it really get? And like you said, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to kill us. So we can get through it. Let's see it as an adventure.
Yes. Well, that's what I used before I came to this country. I would ask myself, I didn't speak English. I didn't know a person in this country. I didn't have the money. And I will ask myself, what is the worst case scenario is going to happen to me? And you know what? The worst case scenario never happened. The opposite always worked out better.
Right.
So I use that technique forever, because it's that what, and what also the beautiful thing with that is that the worst case scenario never happens.
Yes.
Never.
Well, what's the old saying? Prepare for the worst and expect the best.
The best, absolutely.
Yes.
And that's what we do here.
Okay, the fourth one, correct your actions and behaviors to the new situation.
Yes.
It's an adaptation.
Yes.
And sometimes adapting to the new situation is hard because we're learning a new routine and having to abandon the one that we've already had.
And that's when the change really happens. You reminded me, Einstein said, you cannot solve a problem at the same level of consciousness that it was created.
Oh, okay.
So
that's good.
if I'm in this situation, I cannot stay or remain in that fishbowl. I have to get myself out of it so I can solve and see the situation differently, and I can take the new step that I need to take to make the situation better.
Is that what you refer to as damage control?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And we have to prepare for that, especially right now, if people are going through a lot of changes. And right now, the culture is not the same of what it used to be.
Right, that's true.
Another show.
Right. And then, to kind of wrap things up here, I really like this quote that you talked about in the lesson. Crisis is change trying to take place. It kind of reminds me of my tragedy that leads to the cure thing. And it is true. We have to look at it in a positive way, that change is usually going to help us.
Exactly.
Just go with it and try to make the best of it.
And one of the things with embracing change, Laura, is that allows you to stay younger.
Yes.
And it's not that we have anything with against getting older or anything like that. It's that you can slow down the aging process. You can, keep your health and have vitality and energy and feel great by embracing instead of fighting change. Because what you need to learn how to text. That's a thing to
Right.
For people over 50, 60,
Yeah.
you have to learn to text, you have to, all this new technology that we have. And then what happens is it stimulates your brain.
Yes, new brain.
Yeah, your brain growth. So,
Yes.
we have to look at it from the positive way. So
Yeah.
that way you have a healthy life, that you feel energized, you feel feeling great and powerful.
Absolutely. I have a funny little story. I'll try to be quick. It involves my two cats, and they're older cats. They're both close to 20, which is ancient for cats. And I brought a new puppy in the house, and my mom's like, oh, those poor cats are going to be terrorized by the puppy, but they have actually been revigorated because of it.
Yes.
Because they're claiming their territory. I put up this little gate for that so the dog wouldn't eat their food. So they got to learn how to go around to get through. And they're learning. And you know how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
False.
That is false because
False.
I taught an old cat a new trick.
Yes, absolutely. That is false. You know why? Because as we age and as we get older, the brain develops a new skill or ability that is called plasticity. I get so excited about this because it's my strength.
Yes.
It's plasticity. So yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Or an old cat.
Okay, we're talking about cat. I have a story about cats. I'm so glad we don't have to rush here. There is an old cat and a young cat. So the little kitty is, how do you say kitty?
Kitten. Either.
Okay, the little kitten is chasing and chasing and chasing his tail. He's playing. So the old cat comes around and said, what the heck are you doing? And the little kitten said, well, I went to cat philosophy school and I learned that a cat needs to be happy. And the happiness is located in the tip of your tail. So I discovered that if I chase it and chase it and chase it until I grab it, I will be forever happy. The old cat said, well, I haven't been to cat philosophy school. I've been wandering around the alleys all my life. But just like you, I discovered that a cat needs to be happy, and happiness is located in the tip of your tail. But the difference between you and I is that if I go about my business and I do the things that are important to me, it will follow after me wherever I go.
I love it.
So here
Terrific.
we are here ending with a cat story.
Yes, a little cat philosophy in our lesson today.
Absolutely. Don't you think that's awesome? Now, if you have stories about cats or about aging or some of your tips about staying younger and looking great and feeling energized, please send it to us.
Yes.
Check the email, send your text us, call us, whatever. You have all the information right there probably in the screen. So please.
Yes, we love those emails. Keep them coming.
Yes, questions. We're here to help you. Tune in, tell your friends, tell everybody about Dr. Josefina's Way and Laura's Guttridge chat with me. Okay? So, baby, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mwah. Thank you for watching. See you next week. I am Dr. Josefina Monasterio with Healthy Power TV.
And I'm Laura Guttridge. Okay, Dr. Josefina, how about next week?
Okay, next week. Are you excited for this one?
I think I'm going to like this one.
Yeah, because this one is rejuvenating yourself from the inside out.
Does that mean more time at the spa?
Yeah!
I don't know where that came from, but it sounds like a good show.
It is an awesome show because you're going to start, sometimes we just look at the outside. We look at the house, but we don't look at the inside of the house.
That's right.
So we're going to be taking care from the inside out. So, of course, we're going to have the affirmation of the week, our happy and healthy life style, our empowerment lesson.
Yes.
This one, Laura Guttridge is going to be co-hosting with me.
Yep.
And so it's going to be a phenomenal show. Remember, rejuvenating yourself from the inside out. So make sure to put in your schedule and tune in next week and tell your friends, tell everybody about Healthy Power TV and Dr. Josefina's Way. Right, baby?
Absolutely.